A good man will stay and endure the toxicity, endure the emasculating behaviors of his wife, because his nature is to still focus on the good and to love her. He's focused on himself and has bought into the gaslighting that he's the problem, and he's loyal and committed to the marriage. Whereas a woman feels no commitment and obligation to stay, a good man will see it through. And so in helping good men take responsibility for their choice to stay, I want to go a little deeper into the reasons. And we're going to talk about 5 reasons good men don't walk away from a toxic marriage. And the purpose being is knowing that you could leave. You absolutely could leave, but you don't. And so the key piece in this is when you know the reasons why you are staying and you take responsibility for those reasons and for your choice to stay, you're not stuck in camp victim thinking this is happening to you and that you have no options, that it's a choice to stay. And when you know that other good men are choosing to stay for these very reasons, and that they're all valid and reasonable, when you know that all women have the toxic behaviors I talk about on a spectrum, then you can normalize your experience and navigate it from taking responsibility for your choice to be there and navigate it in a healthy, responsible way where you are no longer giving away your power and no longer feel trapped or that you have no other options. And you can live in camp take responsibility and understand yourself and not beat yourself up or think, what's wrong with me? I can't leave. You can know, no, I'm choosing to stay and this is why. And then step up to the plate in that responsibility and know that that's an honorable, integrous thing for you to do as a good man. So getting into the 5 reasons good men don't walk away from a toxic marriage. Number 1, men are afraid of the threat of getting a divorce. And so what I mean by that is that because a good man is so loyal and committed to his vows, he lives in a cognitive dissonance that he can't even see that divorce is a possibility. He's so committed to doing the right thing and seeing the vows through, it creates a cognitive dissonance that divorce is even an option. And again, as women, we know this. And a big issue that a lot of good men have to navigate is a woman constantly threatening divorce and using the threat of divorce as leverage to keep a good man hooked. And that creates a fear in a good man being terrified of a divorce happening. And so he does everything he can in his commitment and loyalty to see it through. And he knows that a divorce is very destructive emotionally and financially. And so he lives in that threat of divorce and being fearful of it. And then his wife playing into that and threatening him with divorce. Number 2, the tease. That again, a good man who fell in love with the facade of the woman he married, of who she presented herself to be, every once in a while, we give just enough. And I call that the tease. So maybe your wife engages in sex again or starts wanting to have more sex, or she sprinkles in a little affection, or she's being playful and laughing. And that's the glimpse that a good man will see that a woman is actually doing purposely and teasing a good man that she's still in there somewhere to keep him on her emotional hooks. So in the tease, it gives a man just enough to think there might be a better time around the corner. Maybe when the kids leave, maybe when she's not as overwhelmed as a mom, when these issues get solved, she'll come back. And that keeps a good man hooked. The 3rd reason a good man will stay in a toxic marriage, the financial liability. So a good man knows that the court system is biased against him and that there's a great risk financially and emotionally in going through with a divorce. He knows it's the end of his life as he knows it, what he's built, what he's used to, that everything he knows and what his life has been will be destroyed. That at least I know what I have and I don't have to start over at my age. And the last two of why a good man will stay in a toxic marriage, I believe, are the most important. Number 4, he still loves his wife despite the toxicity. That a good man's nature is to focus on the good and the positive. So he's not focused on the toxicity and the poor behaviors of his wife. He's focused on the good he sees in her and the positive. That's the lens a good man sees his wife through, where it's the exact opposite for a woman. When we're unhappy in ourselves, we're the exact opposite. We focus on the negative and all the things we see in our husband of how they're the problem, of all the ways we blame them. And that creates the lens we see our husbands through, and then why we become repulsed by them and have our walls up, because we're seeing through a false reality of all the negativity that we're focused on in them. Whereas a good man, he focuses on the good things and the positive. So he still loves his wife. And the 5th reason that a man will stay in a toxic marriage, he's a man of integrity and character, and he's committed to his vows and responsibilities. So in this, there are 2 main things that are most important to a good man, that he will stay despite his wife's toxic behaviors, despite the emasculation, despite the gaslighting. And those are his children, that being a dad and seeing through his responsibilities and commitment as a dad is more important to him and his values than leaving. And many who are Christian or another religion where divorce is not an option. They've made vows before God and they will endure and go through great lengths to endure a toxic marriage because of his faith, because of his commitment and being a dad, and he will see it through. And what I want these men to know is that that's a real man whose values lie in the commitment and vows he has made, and is facing the emasculation and manipulation and gaslighting of his wife, to have the strength to endure and navigate, to see through your commitment and vows, is manning up to your responsibilities. And it takes great strength. 90% of the good men that I work with, talk with, see in the comments on the channel, choose to stay and see through their commitment and vows. So don't be confused by men saying just pack up and leave, or send your wife packing. That's what a real man would do. A real man wouldn't put up with this. Don't be confused that that's strength. That's coming from a victim mentality, and you're a manning up to your responsibility, and that this is what real men do when they know their values and what's most important to them in their commitment and vows. Hello again. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. For those women listening who know you are the problem and you want a path forward to change your woman ways and truly be happy in yourself, I have a course for women called the Happiness Program. And the Happiness Program teaches you to resolve the unhealthy relationship you have with yourself so that you can be the solution to the issues and challenges in your marriage and your life. You can find the link in the description below to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. For the good men listening who want a way to take back the power you've unknowingly given away to your wives, I also have a course for you called the Marriage Rescue Course for Good Men Only. And the course teaches you how to rebuild your strength and confidence so that you can navigate the relationship with your wife in a healthy, constructive way. Again, you can find the link below in the description to learn more about the course and apply to enroll. Again, thank you so much for watching today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.